Hi there, this is Sean, the Honest Book Reviewer, with another book review. In this video we're discussing 7.5, written by Christos Tsoilkas. This is the book here. It's one of the books on the Miles Franklin Literary Award long list for 2022. This book is meant to be all about beauty. It has 3 stories that intertwine to make the book. And they're meant to all celebrate beauty. Well, that's what I expect anyway, because the author makes a huge deal about saying so many times through this book that it's meant to be about beauty. He's sick of being angry all the time. He's sick of writing about politics and things like that. He just wants to celebrate beauty. I didn't feel like this book celebrated beauty at all. I actually also found it very boring, very tedious to get through. And there were just so many sections in this book where I was struggling to get through. I just wanted to push through it, get through as quick as possible, because I just wanted to have this book finished, for it to be done and over. So I really didn't enjoy this book at all. There are 3 main storylines in this book. The first is about an author in seclusion. So he's gone away to put himself in seclusion and to write a story. The second is about his recollections, about his memories. I think this is meant to be autobiographical in some way, but it seems very highly edited, and in some ways it also seems quite contrived. So I'm not too sure on what's true or not in these memories. I'm not sure, if there are true memories, how much they're being changed just for effect. Didn't really enjoy these sections much. I probably enjoyed them more than any other section in the book though. The third part of this book is about the author's story that he's writing, and we see bits of that. But what I didn't like about this is that there's huge chunks, huge gaps in it, and it seems jumps from when one pivotal moment just jumps to another, and we don't get to see some of what they've built up to in this book happening. And I found that a bit strange as well. It was a strange choice, I thought, to where that big chunk is taken out. I thought was very strange. Where the story focuses on the writer in seclusion, it's very, very boring. We get just a lot of descriptions about rocks and sand, about a swim in the ocean, about strangers he passes by and says hello to, about birds he watches in the sky, about whether to answer his phone or not, or check his phone, about what he's eating. It's just very repetitive, very boring. To me, it just felt like a teenager writing a diary. That's what it felt like to me in these sections. The sections about the story that he's writing, and this story is about an ex-porn star who gets a proposal, and that proposal is, come spend a few days with me and I'll pay you a lot of money. That didn't really seem original at all. It felt like I was watching Indecent Proposal with a slight little twist. So I just felt that was trying to rip off that movie and that concept in that movie. So I thought that was a bit lazy by the author. And I'm not sure why the author was writing this part of the book. It also just felt like the author was suddenly discovering that he could write certain things to try to shock people and try to maybe put something taboo into a book. That's what it felt like. And it felt like the author was trying too hard to bring those things into the book, to try to shock the reader. Even though this is meant to be about beauty, this section, so these parts of the book about the story the author's writing, it didn't feel it was celebrating beauty at all to me. And especially when it goes off the rails a bit and this character goes on a big bender, drugs and alcohol, huge bender for days. And I just felt like that part of the story didn't celebrate anything but debauchery in a way, and self-destruction. Well, I didn't engage with any characters in this book at all, really. I found them all a bit boring, very hard to relate to, and I found it a struggle to like any of them. So I'll just talk about the main character. The main character is called Chris in the book, so I suspect it's based on the author. The author's trying to inject himself in the book, which I've seen done before by other authors in their books, so it's not original. I didn't find the character of Chris very interesting, found it quite boring. His observations were quite boring. I found him to be inconsistent, shouting out that he's sick of politics, sick of this, doesn't want to be angry, wants to write about beauty, and that was constant through the book. There's no consistency in what the character's saying to what he's doing. And I found that very strange when I'm reading it, that character was very inconsistent all through the book. That's the main thing I got from this character, is that inconsistency. I also felt that it was very repetitive, this character. Everything he was doing, it was almost like just we're getting a daily task list of his everyday life. And it didn't seem like there was anything to engage the reader, to hook the reader in. Maybe it's not that sort of book. Maybe that's not sort of character. I'm not sure. But I think readers need something to engage to. Something that's going to draw them into the book. And I don't think this character has that potential. I didn't enjoy reading this book at all. I found it repetitive, boring. I found the characters just very, very hard to engage with. I found the whole book very hard to engage with. I rate this a 1 out of 5. I wouldn't recommend this to anybody really, and I'm actually not sure why it's on the Miles Franklin long list for 2022. I don't know if it's because the author is more of a well-known author in Australia. He's had some things that have turned into TV shows. He's had something that's turned into a movie before. So I'm not sure if that's the reason why some authors get on award lists, but I don't think this book deserves it, in my opinion. I found it didn't live up to what it's espousing to be, and I found it a very difficult read. And if this was the only thing I knew about this author, I don't know if I'd be tempted to read anything else by the same author. I am trying to review every book on the Miles Franklin Literary Award long list for 2022. I have a playlist on my channel. Check it out. It should be on your screen now.